Hi students, good afternoon. Today we are going to see about the construction and its contents of the three-phase induction motor and why the three-phase induction motor is preferred in industries and why not uh, the other motors. These things we are going to discuss in the video today. The first thing is the construction of the induction motor. Here we are talking about the three-phase induction motor. And now the three-phase induction motor is preferable type of motor. Why? It is most widely used in industrial drives because it is very reasonable and vigorous, economical and reliable. So this last line has indicated that why the three-phase induction motor is preferred in industries, because the first thing is it is economical and vigorous, which means it has good efficiency almost. And the third thing, the main thing is it is very reliable motor comparing to other motors. It is also called the asynchronous motor because it does not run at a synchronous speed. As you know, the difference between synchronous motor and asynchronous motor, if you still have a doubt on the synchronous as well as asynchronous motor, we will do a video regarding these two things. Now, the induction motor requires very little maintenance and also it has high overloading capacity. Next thing, and now we are going to see about the contents of the three-phase induction motor. The first thing is the stator and the second one is the rotor. As you know, the stator is the stationary part and the rotor is the rotating part. Now the construction of the stator is similar to the three-phase induction motor, and the construction of the rotor is different for different machines. So here what they're trying to say is the construction of the stator is similar to the three-phase synchronous motor. As you know, the three-phase synchronous motor has an AC supply in the stator winding and a DC supply in the rotor, and with interaction between the magnetic flux it starts to rotate. As you know the details about that. Similarly here what they're saying is the construction of the stator is similar to the three-phase synchronous motor, which means the stator of the synchronous motor and the stator of the three-phase induction motor are more or less similar. And the only difference is the construction of the rotor is different for the different machines. Requirement wise, the rotor of the machine will vary. What else they trying to say here? Now, the construction of the induction motor is explained below in detail. Now we are going to see about the stator part. The stator is built up of high-grade alloy steel laminations to reduce eddy current losses. As we studied previously, what is eddy current loss and what is hysteresis loss and what is core loss, everything we have studied in EM1 itself. And now it has three main parts, mainly outer frame, second one the stator core, the third one is the stator. Why three things are in the induction motor stator? The first thing is the outer frame. It is the outer body of the motor. Its main function to support the stator core and to protect the inner part of the machine. For small machines, the outer frame is casted, which means it has been molded. But for the large machine, it is fabricated. Fabricated which means it has been designed with laminated cores. Below the diagram of the stator, you can see the stator, the core as well as the winding in the slots. Now the stator core. The stator core is built of high-grade silicon steel stamping. Its main function is to carry the alternating magnetic field, which produces hysteresis and eddy current losses. As you know, what is these two things are. The stamping are fixed to stator frames. Each stamping are insulated from the other with a varnish layer. The thickness of the stamping usually varies from 0.3 to 0.5 mm. The slots are punched on the inner side of the stamping as shown in the figure below. So here you can see the diagram that it shows the slot, the tooth which is the groove, and the stator stamping. Next thing is the stator winding. The third thing, the core of the stator carries three-phase winding which are usually supplied from a three-phase supply system. The six terminal of the windings are connected in the terminal box of the machine. Why six terminals are connected? Because it's a three-phase induction motor and it has a six terminal parts, as you know, RYB, and two of each phases. It has been connected. The stator of the motor is wound for different number of poles depending on the speed of the motor. So as you know, as you aware that the pole is the main thing which shows the speed of the machine. If number of poles increase, as you know previously, the number of poles increased, the speed will be decreased. If number of poles increase, if the number of poles increase, the speed will be reduced. If the pole is lesser, the speed will be higher. I hope you can understand. So here what the saying is, if the number of pole is greater, the speed of the motor will be less, and if the number of pole is less, the speed will be high. So vice versa, if the pole is increased, the speed will be lesser. If the pole is reduced, speed will be higher. This is the concept of the poles. As you know, the relationship of the speed is ns directly proportional to 1 by p, or ns is equal to 120 f by p. As you know, ns is the synchronous speed of the motor, and 120 f is the frequency, is the number of poles. The construction of the rotor. The rotor is also built of thin laminations of same material as the stator. The laminated cylindrical core is mounted directly on the shaft. These laminations are slotted on the outer side to receive the conductor. There are two types of rotor. One is squirrel cage rotor and the other one is phase wound rotor. The phase wound rotor is also called a slip ring rotor. Now we are going to see about the construction of the squirrel cage rotor. A squirrel cage rotor consists of laminated cylindrical core. The circular slots at the outer periphery are semi-closed. As you can see, the outer edge, the edge of the slots has been encircled by a copper ring. Each slot contains uninsulated bar conductor of aluminum or copper at the end of the rotor. The conductor are short circuited by a heavy ring of copper aluminum. which is shown in the diagram, and it has few advantages. It reduces the humming and provides smooth noise-free operation. Humming sound, as you know, that you could recall all the terms, the technical terms like humming, eddy current loss, or core loss, and hysteresis loss. The second thing is it reduces the uniform torque curve for different position of the rotor. The locking tendency of the rotor is reduced. For locking tendency, we already discussed so many times, where the rotor and the stator gets magnetically interlocked, so it doesn't rotate. So to avoid this, as the teeth of the rotor and the stator track each other on the lock, so to avoid this locking condition, most of the rotors have cross please squeed uh, conductor slots, which is for avoiding the magnetic lock. Next thing is it increases the rotor resistance due to increased length of rotor conductor. As the following are the few of the advantages. The cage rotor is cheaper. The absence of brushes reduces the risk of sparking. Maintenance is very less. Power factor is higher. As you know, if the power factor is higher, the efficiency of the machine will be higher. The efficiency of the cage rotor is higher. Next thing is phase wound rotor. As we call it, it is called slip ring rotor. It consists of cylindrical core which is laminated. The outer periphery of the rotor has semi-closed slots with carries a three-phase insulated winding. The rotor winding are connected in star. The slip ring induction motor is shown below. So this is the slip ring induction motor rotor. It has, as the name mentioned, it has slip rings connected in the shaft, squeezed rotor slots to avoid the magnetic locks, and the shaft. The slip ring motor are mounted on the shaft with brushes resting on them. The brushes are connected to the variable resistor. The function of the slip ring and the brushes is provide a means of connecting external resistance to the rotor circuit. The resistor enables variation of each rotor phase to serve the following purpose. So why it has been connected is given below. It increases the starting torque and decrease the starting current. The second thing is it is used to control the speed of the motor. Next thing, the advantages of the phase wound rotor, which is the slip ring rotor. Number one is high starting torque and low starting current. Number two is for controlling the speed of the motor, and external resistance can be added in the circuit. I hope you can understand the construction details of three-phase induction motor and what are the contents are in the motor. If you have any doubt, please message me in Google Classroom. I'll reply as soon as I see the message. Thank you for your time.